Is Blume SuperBelly what you actually need to strengthen your gut? Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be reviewing a very popular product by the company Blume known as SuperBelly. They claim that their product is a gut health drink that's going to help strengthen your gut and immune system while also putting you in a better mood and even helping your skin. But is this true? That's what we're going to talk about in today's video. So in today's video, we're going to review Blume's claims, their ingredients, and I will let you know if it's actually worth buying. But first, hi, my name is Katey. I'm a registered dietitian and certified personal trainer. My goal with this channel is to help you learn more about nutrition, fitness, and wellness so that you can be your best, whatever that looks like. I also love to do product reviews, so if you have any products or topics you want me to cover, just let me know in the comments below. All right, so let's get started. What is Blume? Blume is a Canadian wellness supplement brand that was founded in 2017 by Karen Downey-Judge. According to an interview she did with Business Insider, she claims that she founded Blume after not being able to find a suitable alternative to caffeine products. So originally she created her superfood lattes, but this led to other products such as SuperBelly, which we are talking about today. So let's dive into SuperBelly and their claims. According to their website, SuperBelly is a delicious, juicy refresher that gently hydrates while also supporting your gut using different ingredients like prebiotics, probiotics, and superfoods. And they call it a gut-building hydration drink mix powder. And they recommend that you take this product every single day for best results. They offer their product in a variety of different flavors, including one of their most popular ones right now, which is their mango passion fruit. But they also have other popular flavors like their strawberry hibiscus, lemon ginger, and acai pomegranate. Today we're going to be looking at the mango passion fruit label, but rest assured whichever flavor you take, it doesn't really matter in terms of the nutritional properties. But before we dive into the actual ingredients, we need to take a look at some of the claims they're making. On their website, Blume dives into gut health. In particular, they emphasize the importance of gut health when it comes to our mood, immune system, energy, and focus. And they also mention how important gut health is when it comes to our skin health. And all of these things are very, very true. Our gut is not just there to digest food. It really does play a role in so many different systems in the body. So for example, as they also indicate on their website, our gut plays a key role in serotonin production, and it's where most of the serotonin in our body is produced. And if you don't know what serotonin is, it's a neurotransmitter that plays a role in so many aspects of our health. So for example, brain health, mood health, gut health, our appetite, and many other things. And so when we're talking about serotonin production, we need to make sure that we have a healthy gut so it's able to do that. Same thing applies for our immune system, and our gut plays a vital role in our immune health. So for example, our gut is part of our innate immune system. And basically what the innate immune system is it's the first line of defense. So when we eat food, the food goes into our gut, and our gut starts to decide, is this food good for us or is this food potentially harmful? If something is perceived as being unsafe, let's say it's a harmful bacteria, then our immune system kicks into gear and sends defense mechanisms to kill it. Also, our gut lining acts as a barrier too. And our gut lining, when it's really, really strong, helps to prevent anything harmful from entering our bloodstream. Basically, a strong, healthy gut is going to have really nice, tight junctions. And you can think of a tight junction as kind of a bodyguard for our gut. Basically, these bodyguards help to decide what's allowed into our body and what will not be absorbed. So for example, it will allow nutrients into the club or our gut, but it will prevent things like toxins or harmful microbes, or anything else that's not wanted into our bloodstream. If you have a weak gut lining, then a condition known as leaky gut may arise. Sometimes you'll hear in the academic community the term increased gut permeability, and basically that simply means that the gut lining is more permeable, things are getting in when they shouldn't. But basically the main concept is that when our gut lining is weak, these tight junctions don't act like they should, and they start letting things in that they shouldn't. If you want to still use the bodyguard analogy, think of it like using a toddler to be a bodyguard for you. And so what ends up happening is sometimes harmful things that shouldn't be absorbed end up getting absorbed into our bloodstream because they go through our gut lining. And this potentially can lead to an inflammatory immune response because now these harmful compounds have entered our bloodstream and our body detects them. So this is why it's so important that you have a healthy gut lining, because it is part of our immune system. And Blume also illustrates this concept on their website. The only thing I would say is that when it comes to leaky gut or increased gut permeability, this topic is very nuanced and complicated, and the overview that they provide is pretty simplistic. So while it can be helpful as a general understanding, I would take it with a grain grain of salt. On top of this, Blume says that having a healthy gut can improve energy levels and skin health. Again, this is true. And people that do have altered gut function and a weakened gut lining may present with certain health issues. Here's where things get a little bit more complicated though, because when we're talking about the gut, it's not like everyone has the same issue. There are a ton of things that can be considered a gut issue and they will require different treatments. So for example, you may be familiar with something known as IBS or irritable bowel syndrome. The thing with IBS is this is actually a broad term and it can represent different symptoms. For some people with IBS, they may experience bloating and constipation. For another person with IBS, they may experience a lot of diarrhea. Two completely opposite ends of the spectrum, nonetheless under the category of IBS. And so what one person might be experiencing may be different from another, and they may require different treatments. Inflammatory bowel diseases like Crohn's or colitis, they will also require different treatments. And when it comes to these are considered serious medical conditions and should be monitored by your doctor. There's also something known as gut dysbiosis, which is an imbalance of gut bacteria. And so as you can see, while I totally appreciate that Blume acknowledges how important it is to have a healthy gut, the overview they provide and the statements they provide are very simplistic and basic. And achieving a healthy gut is going to look different for different people. But simply put, Blume says that their product contains different ingredients that support a healthy gut and may confer some benefits. When in doubt, when it comes to companies like this, where they're kind of vague when it comes to gut health, the best thing you can assume is this is for the general healthy population, not people with very specific conditions. Okay, so now that we know the claims, let's look at the ingredients. So if we take a look at the nutrition facts table, we see that it only has 10 calories per packet. And this does make sense because there's virtually no protein, there's no fat, and there's only 3 grams of carbohydrates. They also say that their product is going to help with hydration because it contains different trace minerals that support the uptake of water. Here's where the issue is. If you take a look at the nutrition facts table, you see that it has 65 milligrams of sodium, which is salt. That's not very much, and it's probably not actually going to increase your hydration that dramatically. Also, if you look at the table, you'll see that it has 0 milligrams of potassium, and potassium is also important for increasing hydration levels. And beyond that, there are no other minerals that are reported on the nutrition facts table, so there really aren't any trace minerals present. At least according to the table that they provide, there is nothing reported, so this claim is actually a little misleading. In theory, it might help with hydration because you're drinking a beverage, but it's not actually going to do that much for you in terms of your overall hydration, beyond what water is already going to do. They also have apple cider vinegar as one of their main ingredients, which they say helps with digestion. So we know that apple cider vinegar has had its time in the limelight over the past couple years, but some people still are interested in it despite limited research supporting it. And when it comes to digestion, apple cider vinegar isn't really well established according to research in terms of improving it. And also, when we're talking about the phrase digestion, what are we exactly talking about? What do we mean by improved digestion? What we do know about apple cider vinegar is that it may help to delay gastric emptying. And what gastric emptying is how fast food leaves our stomach into our digestive tract. So this can in theory help us keep full, and it can help us digest the food a tiny bit better. Here's where the problem is though, is Blume doesn't even provide a dose. So we don't even know how much is actually in the product, and this is problematic. Because first of all, the compound that is found in apple cider vinegar that seems to have the most benefits, and even then it's pretty limited, is acetic acid. And so in order to understand if the product's going to do that much for you, we need to know how much acetic acid is in it. But because we don't even know how much apple cider vinegar is in the product, we don't know how much acetic acid is in it, we really can't even say that the amount that's in the product is going to do that much for you. Let alone the fact that research doesn't even really support apple cider vinegar for improving overall health and overall digestion. So for this, I think the addition of apple cider vinegar in this product is pretty useless. Then we have inulin, which is a type of prebiotic. And a prebiotic is a type of beneficial fiber that bacteria in our gut like to eat. And when these beneficial bacteria consume prebiotics like inulin, they help flourish and grow, and they help to also produce what's known as a postbiotic, such as different short-chain fatty acids, for example, which may confer health benefits like decreasing inflammation, improving the overall structural integrity and function of our gut, and supporting our immune system. They say that their product uses a type of inulin from Jerusalem artichokes, and this is an excellent source of prebiotics. While they don't say on their label, and to be honest, they really should just report it on the label, if you scroll down on their website, they say that their product has 1 gram of inulin. When it comes to inulin, a diet high in prebiotic fibers that include inulin can have a lot of different health benefits, in particular supporting our gut lining, our immune system, and other metabolic functions. The issue is, like I just mentioned, the company only has 1 gram of inulin in their product, yet most research supports the consumption of at least 5 grams of inulin per day. And when we look at different types of studies in terms of consuming consuming inulin, especially through supplementation, the dose is even higher. So as you can see on the image up here, you'll notice that the general range of inulin for supplementation ranges from 10 grams to 24 grams. And these are just a few examples. So when we're trying to make claims about products in terms of certain ingredients that are added to it, we have to consider the dose that is added. Just because a product contains inulin doesn't mean it's actually going to be effective if it's not in a dose that's going to provide what's known as a therapeutic benefit, meaning that it's going to confer positive health benefits. And while it's fine that the product has inulin and potentially that 1 gram dose may provide a tiny benefit, I'm not really convinced that it's in a high enough dose that's going to do that much for you. Next, we have a probiotic known as Bacillus coagulans. Now, this is a pretty well-studied spore-forming bacteria that is known to survive digestion. And consumption of Bacillus coagulan is linked with increased digestion of carbohydrates and proteins, improvement of unwanted GI symptoms like gas and bloating, and it may play a role in immune function. Now, Blume uses a dose of 1 billion CFUs or colony-forming units of Bacillus coagulans, which is a decent dose. When we populate our guts with probiotics such as Bacillus coagulans, and we do this consistently, it helps to populate our gut with these healthy bacteria, and over time, it may confer different health benefits. When it comes to probiotics in general, it's ideal that you're consuming a wide range of strains and you're consuming them in high doses, so well over 1 billion CFUs. The product only has one strain of probiotic, which is Bacillus coagulans, and if we were talking about a probiotic supplement, I would say this is pretty limited, but since it's not a probiotic supplement, it's not the end of the world to me. I do want to point out that while there is some research to support health benefits of Bacillus coagulans, I still would say we need more before we use it as a therapeutic remedy and really specifically use that strain to confer major health benefits. Will the dose of 1 billion CFUs of Bacillus coagulan in this product help? Maybe. But if you're going to be taking this and you want to see results, you have to take the product consistently every single day. Just taking it once or twice or a few times a week isn't going to cut it in terms of improving overall gut health. And like I mentioned, ideally if you want to consume probiotics, you want to take an actual probiotic supplement with multiple strains in higher doses, and or also consume probiotic-rich foods paired with prebiotics. I will say I do like the fact that Blume acknowledges this limitation and that they say that you should consume this product in conjunction with your probiotic routine, whether it's from food or supplement. Overall, I think the product might help a little bit with consistent use, but if you want to improve your gut health through probiotics, it's probably better that you actually purchase a probiotic supplement versus something like this where it only has one strain. Next, we have Cider, also known as Reb-A, which is a form of stevia. With Reb-A, this is a specific compound from the stevia plant. So it's very similar to stevia, the naturally derived sweetener that you probably see in a lot of labels. It's just a specific part of it. Some companies are starting to use Reb-A in their products because the aftertaste isn't as unappealing. Some people don't like the taste of stevia, so this is likely why they used it. When it comes to Reb-A or stevia or any naturally derived sweetener, the reason why it's added is because they want to keep the sugar content low in the product but still have it taste good. So in order to do that, they add a naturally derived sweetener like Reb-A in order to make the product taste good, and so you will actually enjoy it and continue to buy it. Finally, we have a bunch of different fruit powders which are simply there to flavor and color the product. In terms of the fruit powders and nutrition, there really isn't much nutrition derived from these powders. They're specifically there to flavor it and color it. So it's not really going to add anything in terms of benefits to your health, but I do like the fact that they're trying to use natural colors and flavors. And that's it for ingredients. Okay, so let's talk about the cost. According to their website, one pack has 15 servings and it costs $32. This works out to $2.13 Canadian per packet. If you order 3 at a time, which provides a total of 45 packets, this does bring your cost down a bit. So for 3 packs, it costs $84. And this works out to $1.86 per serving. So if you're going to order it, it's a lot cheaper to order it in packs of 3 versus 1 because you will save a little bit of money. Interestingly, whether or not you use the Canadian dollar or the US dollar, the prices stay the exact same. So if you're in the US, you're actually going to pay more than Canadians will. I think it's a Canadian company, so maybe that's why they do it. I'm not sure. But nonetheless, the prices stay the exact same. So it's a little bit more expensive for a US consumer than a Canadian consumer, which is actually pretty rare. When it comes to my thought on the cost, I do think it's a bit expensive and it will add up over time. Keep in mind that you're spending roughly $2 every single packet. So every single day that can add up, especially for something that may only have modest benefits, if that. With that being said, if you find benefit in the product, you enjoy it, it works for you, and it fits within your budget, then feel free to buy it. I don't personally care. I just want to provide you with the information. But I do want to emphasize that you do not have to buy this product. So let's finish up with my overall thoughts. Overall, it appears that the company focuses on naturally derived ingredients, which I think is nice. I also like the fact that they use a pretty well studied, good dose of the probiotic Bacillus coagulans. And it could could potentially help a tiny little bit if you're very consistent with it, but I do think you'd be better off actually consuming a probiotic-rich diet, fiber-rich diet, and maybe taking a probiotic supplement with multiple strains. That will probably do much more for you than this product would. Beyond that, I don't really find any of their ingredients that impressive. The dose of the inulin is pretty low. They don't provide a dose for the apple cider vinegar, and there really isn't much research to support using apple cider vinegar as a health aid. And there's no fiber in the product, which is what really helps drive gut health besides that small dose of inulin. While I do think it's nice that the company encourages you to drink more water and be hydrated, which is certainly important, I find this a very expensive way to do so. And if you do want to improve your gut health and you don't have any underlying conditions, I really think that you should be focusing on your diet first. So eating a variety of plants, because when you're eating a variety of different plants every single week, you're going to be increasing diversity of different types of microbes which can populate your gut and support it. Also the fact that many plant food, which definitely supports your gut health. Also eating probiotic-rich foods, drinking plenty of water, limiting ultra-processed foods which can affect our gut, just to name a few. So do I think this product is truly worth buying? Not really. Is it harmful? No. But is it necessary? No. And with that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below if you have any other products or topics you want me to cover. And if you did enjoy this video, I would love it if you would like and subscribe to my channel because your support helps me reach more people like you. And I'll see you in the next video.